Okay, it should be working now. I think it's recording. Welcome, Richard. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you
Straight
for having
from
us.
Poznań, Skopje, and Budapest.
That's
But
right. What a
something is
group.
about to happen. What is about to happen, Richard?
Well, we're getting ready for the Polyglot workshops in Poland, and we're going to have one workshop in Poznań
That's
on the
your favorite city,
28th.
Poznań, in Poland,
Uh,
right?
yes, definitely. I really, I feel a bit bad saying that to anybody else listening not from Poznań, but there are lots of other cities that I like equally as well, but the Poznań
Okay.
pips me to the post because I've had this special relationship with the city and people from the city for a few years now, and it's really something
This is
where
where
I
I
feel at
met you.
home.
This is where I
Exactly,
met you. In that
exactly.
legendary street where everybody meets you.
Yes, yes, exactly. In the very center of Poznań.
And
It's
after
a really
3
nice
years
place.
and a few months, you are coming back, and we are
Again.
collaborating, which I'm very happy of.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it too. And bringing Alex as well, because Alex, I don't think, has been to Poznań yet.
I've never been to Poznań, so this will be my first time.
I
He's
think we're
gonna
going
like
to we're going to convert him to Poznań in Poland, and he's going to be moving there very soon, I'm sure.
it. And of course, this time also Warsaw. We don't want to
Yeah.
ignore our capital.
No,
So
beautiful
two
capital as it
workshops,
is.
two
Yeah.
workshops, but the polyglot workshops, where this idea comes from and why do we want to do it anyway?
Well, the idea was something that I think I had at the Polyglot workshops because going to the Polyglot conferences and the Polyglot gathering last year, I realized that there's just such a little amount of time that's available to talk to people individually who have got real questions and real needs for their own personal language learning journey. And I don't really work as a coach or anything like that, but I thought this was a nice way in between to sort of to offer people time that they want to spend to ask them questions or to ask other people that we can get together with great expertise to share in an affordable and sort of easy to manage way. And I thought that was really what the workshops fit that place in the market that I think isn't really there yet.
So what is the biggest difference between the conference and these workshops?
I think it's exactly that. It's not a conference, it's a workshop, so you get a chance to the interactivity and to talk about your own specific questions a lot more and to have more sort of time with the people talking. I think that would be it.
Because during conferences, it's just sometimes really crazy when you have
Yeah.
300 people,
I mean,
everybody wants to talk. Yeah.
I mean, Alex and I did one in Berlin, and Alex, what did you think?
Well, what I really liked about it was that everybody arrived kind of not knowing anybody else, and then at the end of it, everybody left really good friends, and there was this real energy about the whole event that everyone was getting to know each other, they were sharing stories, they were sharing advice, and it was a really unique atmosphere, which I haven't experienced to that extent at either the conference or the gathering so far.
That's what I experience as the biggest benefits from this kind of events is like the connection. Connection is the principle and the priority even before the learning experience. Because most people have that general idea of how to learn a language, but what they need is like your personal stories to get inspired and to get really that feel of what language learning can be like. Like this is your life, and you have a lot of storytelling involved that can move people in that direction. So from my perspective, this is that energy that people can get from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the energy is the thing that I noticed from the very first conference. Actually, just the energy amongst the people who get together with the same interest and with the same needs and the same sort of wants and desires, really. That definitely is there in place at all of these bigger events, and it's there as well at the smaller events, like the workshops that we put together, and it works really well because it offers that feeling of a conference, but adding on to that the intimacy of a more personalized setting and structure to the day, so that people can all get out of the day what they want and what they need. There's a lot more opportunity for questions, and as I say, that sort of interactivity with the people speaking, which I think is key, and it's what sort of sets apart the event from the conferences and the gatherings. And also, I know people go for coaching sessions, and I think they can be good. What these do in addition to that is it will also add on the whole dimension of the group, sort of being together, listening to people in a similar position. So it's almost like sort of something that you can do in combination with a lot of different things. Going to the events, having the coaching sessions or the private tuition sessions that you have, doing things like the challenges that you see online, like Add One Challenge. All these things go together to sort of to generate this energy that keeps spurring you on in your learning, and I think that's why it's good to do these kinds of things.
It's a different character of educational form, I would say. Something in between, like coaching and the conference. It's not that personal. It's not that huge. It's a different educational form.
The really great thing about it as well was that it doesn't just end at the workshop. I mean, a lot of the people who came to our workshop in Berlin, they now know each other. They now are friends. They live in the same city, and they're still working together and helping each other with their language learning, with encouragement, inspiration. It's really, really nice to see that.
So creating a community in those cities.
Yeah.
And what is your vision for the future for this project, Richard? How would you like these polyglot workshops to look like in, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? I'd
like to see it continuing. What I'd like is, I mean, I'd welcome people who want to have their own workshop in their own city, and they can get in touch with me and Alex, and we can take these places, these workshops to different places. So whether you're a school and you'd like to have interest brought to your school, it's a good focal point. It's a good way of motivating your students. It's a good way of motivating people in the area to get involved in the school and to get involved on courses. So I'd like to see more interaction with schools in that way. We work with a school in Germany, the Sprachabteilung, and Sprachatelier, sorry, and they are very supportive in what we do, and they've done an awful lot to sort of motivate their students and the people who are interested in learning languages in Berlin to get involved, and I think that can be spread to other cities. So I see a lot of potential in that.
Finding potential partners as well. What about other languages? Because, for example, in Poland, the workshops will be in English, but I'm sure there are also lots of people who don't even speak English as a first foreign language. What about the future of this project in local languages?
No czemu nie po polsku, no właśnie. Ja myślę, że to jest bardzo fajnie. To będzie chyba, i po polsku, jeden dzień, możemy i zrobić to i w Polsce po polsku, and in other languages, in other countries, why not? We can always take it to other places, and this is why I say with local schools you can definitely do that, because you can work together. You can even do a mix of English and other languages, and actually focus on a language that isn't the spoken language of the country, but the language that people want to learn. Say, for example, you have talks in Italian for people learning Italian, or in Spanish for people learning Spanish, etc., etc. And you can even combine it with the local language, with English, with another language, and you can do this in many different ways. So I see the future as definitely spreading out and doing this, a lot more in a lot more places and a lot more languages for a lot more different types of audiences.
What can people from Poland expect from these workshops in Poznań and Warsaw? What will you focus on as a speakers, as a workshop leaders?
So, Alex, I don't know if you want to talk about your bit. I can talk about mine. So, talking about sort of learning multiple languages, it's one thing that I get asked a lot generally, and I think in a workshop that really is a good topic to discuss, because you get people who say, oh, well, they've learned even one language and they're trying to learn the second, and they feel the confusion between them, and they want real tips that mean something to them personally, and that's something that the workshop really can offer. Whereas if I answer that in general terms, I can only speak from my point of view, and if I have the examples of the people actually in the room, we can discuss what works for them personally and what things they can do. Other things that we can talk about in workshops are sort of accent, learning vocabulary learning, other aspects of learning languages, like grammar, what's important, speaking. There are many, many different things that we can talk about and do differently talk about at these events. Alex has got his own sort of things that he was going to talk about in Poland, so I'll let him discuss that as well.
Yeah, I'll be focusing mainly about using one of the techniques which I've found to be the most successful for learning languages very efficiently, which is through reading. And basically talking about ways that we can approach reading as an exercise in a way that it won't be kind of too difficult, it'll be very manageable, how to set realistic goals of what we can achieve through reading, and then also how we can actually use this as an activity to learn more vocabulary and become more fluent. Of course, I mean, it also depends, like Richard was saying, on what people who are coming to the workshops want to hear, because we're really open to suggestions, and if you write to us with specific questions, we'll definitely talk about them.
Yeah, that's what I like about these workshops, that first of all, if we have 3 people, we have 3 different approaches, 3 different people with different experience. So it's not like promoting one the only secret method that will work for everybody. And second is it's more interactive, because the group is not huge, like 100, 200 people. And that's why we can really meet people's needs, and yeah, that's it.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, the idea of, I think a lot of us agree that the idea is that one approach doesn't always work. It is definitely there are different approaches for different people and different character types, different moods, different environments, and I think that is what we sort of get to in these workshops, because we're talking from different standpoints, and we can certainly deal with a number of questions from different angles. So yeah, I think it's exactly what people get out of it, is the personal and the multi-pronged approach to language learning.
Okay, I think it's a really good teaser for people. So now one last sentence to invite people to Poznań and Warsaw, 28th of February and 1st of March. Just one sentence.
Zapraszamy. Myślę, że bardzo interesujące jest. Myślę, że to będzie dla Was bardzo ciekawe też, dlatego że możemy zrobić dużo rzeczy razem, mówić o językami, jak Wy chcecie mówić i używać Wasze języki.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Proszę bardzo.
Alex, maybe in Greek?
All the Polish Greek speakers. Σας περιμένω και θέλω να σας δω.
Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon, in 5 weeks.
Look forward to seeing you all in Poznań and in Warsaw.
We'll see you then.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you for the hangout, guys.